But hey, look, it's your podcast, Band of Bards podcast.
Hey, look at that.
All right, so you want me to let me play the trailer, and then you can talk a little bit about the Bands of Bards.
Yeah, go ahead.
Of Bards. How's that sound?
You're listening to the Band of Bards podcast, a podcast where we talk to our own.
See, hold on, I gotta pause it because did you see how good his voice sounds? Good sounding voice right there for radio, right? All right, hold on. Let me start it over. All right.
You're listening to the Band of Bards podcast, a podcast where we talk to our own creators about their comic books. Stay tuned.
All right, so Joey, since you're here, and you came in at the exact right time because I'm talking about Band of Bards right now. Tell me about Band of Bards.
As if it wasn't planned or anything, right?
It wasn't planned. It seems really, really planned, but it was 100% not planned. It's just and then I have one. After we talk about Band of Bards, I want to talk about another new podcast that just kicked off the network this week, and a event that I'm doing with the host tomorrow evening. So, floor is yours, Joey. Let us tell me about Band of Bards.
So, Band of Bards is actually an independent publisher. They release through the direct market, which means you get comic books in the comic shop. Yes, they actually do still have comic shops out there. Just do a quick search, and you can find one near you. But what they do is they kind of reestablish their kind of foundation of what they do. Right, they became a co-op publisher, and I think that they might be the only co-op independent direct market publisher.
So for people that don't know what co-op means, what does that mean?
So it means that you have worker owners. So people who are actually work for the company actually own a part of the company. Kind of actually, I think Age of Radio is kind of that way as well, right? We're actually a co-op as well, because we have worker
for the years that you've been helping me with it. I've been saying that. So that's the actual plan and structure of it. On paper, it's not 100%, but
not yet, right?
Idea.
So
that's the idea behind it. So Jalissa, if you're listening to this, that's one of our biggest things that we have to do this year. Is get all of
and it is. And you have to establish it. You have to actually fill out paperwork and all that stuff for it. And Band of Bards actually did that. So, So and what they wanted to do with the whole initiative, the brand new initiative of this co-op, was to bring on new content and not only talk about their comic book creators, but also branch out and talk about the creative side of things of the whole entire industry. Because it can be daunting, right? Trying to break into comics is a little scary. When you hear people use that word, breaking into comics, what does it look like for you? It's a little scary, and it doesn't look the same for every single person. And so we want to talk to everybody about their journey, right? So first, we're gonna have a set of 6 episodes to talk to their own creators, and then we're gonna kind of branch off in the next few 6 episodes and kind of like branch out and talk to other creators. It might not be me who's the host every single time, because they're talking about giving me a break. But so we're gonna do some really cool, interesting, fun things with this new podcast.
That's really, really cool. And I think the future Band of Bards is really awesome. They're located out in New York. Did I make that up?
Out of Buffalo. Their home base. The HQ is in Buffalo. But there's a handful. There's 6 worker owners right now, and we are all over the place. We're in Arizona, we're in Ohio, we're in New York area, we're in Florida-ish area. So there's tons of us all over the place, and and what's fun, we have a Discord channel as well, and that's how we communicate. So we have a HQ on Discord to talk about all the stuff, and that's how everything gets pushed out. So we were actually, before this, because I was able to jump in a little bit later, because we were dealing with some stuff on the back end and talking about the releases that are coming out very soon. So very, very cool.
That's really cool. So guys, make sure that you follow Band of Bards wherever you get your podcasts, and also follow the Geek Collective. We're going to talk a little bit more about what the Geek Collective has going on here in one moment. But I want to talk about this other podcast that just kicked off a couple of days ago, One Voice Evolving. Welcome to the One Voice Evolving podcast, where the mission is to reclaim joy in diversity, equity, and inclusion spaces. And again, we allow everybody to be a part of the Age of Radio network. We believe in freedom of speech as long as it's not hate speech. So feel free, no matter what your political leaning is, no matter what it is that you want to say. If you're interested in joining the Age of Radio podcast network, we will be doing webinars here soon where you can learn how to join, or you can reach out to me on social media. This is more of like an episode that she created for this welcome message. So I'm going to go ahead and play just a little bit of it. We'll listen to it so you get an idea about One Voice Evolving is. But more importantly, tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern, just on our Instagram, make sure that you go to Age of Radio Verse. It's Age of Radio and then Verse, because Age of Radio was taken on Instagram. We got the handle. So go to at Age of Radio Verse on Instagram, and I'm going to just be doing a live from Instagram with Kim Brasser, who is the host of One Voice Evolving, to talk about the podcast. And then if any of our podcast hosts are on here, or Joey, if you want to too, every Friday around that same time, or on Thursday, we're going to be going live from that Instagram to talk about one of the podcast hosts that are just exclusive to Age of Radio, so you can learn more about their show. And if we don't have a podcast host on, then you just get to hear me talk, kind of like you were doing before Joey came on here today. So let's go ahead and listen to some of this. It's about, I think it's a full episode that she did, or 6 minutes that she did for this, but here it is.
For good. My mission is not to convince Black folk that I'm a safe place.
I think audio is gone now.
You're not hearing the audio?
There it is. Now we can hear it.
Yeah, but that's because it was, I might, so hold on. Does it go away when I do this?
Yes.
All right, so hold on 1 second. That's a problem. Hold on. We have lots of problems going on here. Hold on, everybody. Oh my gosh, I hope you heard everything before, because I muted a lot of stuff before. So based off of that, you might not have heard anything from anybody. So hold on, everybody.
Oh,
1 second. Let me just throw this back out here.
That's why you need me. You need me here with you.
What I do need is, Trey or Josh or someone to come in here and manage all of the settings that I need to be doing.
Listen, guys, when you're doing these lives, it's really difficult to kind of press buttons and talk and think at the same time.
Oh, you know why? This for F me. All right, well, guys, hold on. I apologize. We're gonna listen to these all again. Luckily, we have plenty of time left, and luckily, we don't have to talk about all the stuff that I planned because we have Joey here. We can talk about Geek Collective stuff. But oh my. Okay, let's hold on. This is going to be better. Let's try this again.
For good. My mission is not to convince Black folk that I'm a safe place, but to convince other white women to be safe spaces and to advance racial equity in our lifetime. When people burn out in this space, it's because their hopes and dreams of making a difference have been buried under competing demands and ever-shifting expectations. There is nothing like a community of women to lighten the load and find the fun in it somehow. Creativity is key.
All right, everybody. Make sure that you follow One Voice Evolving wherever you get your podcast. And again, I do apologize. We're going to go back and listen to Band of Bards for fun after this, just because we probably missed so much stuff, and I'm sure we missed all kinds of stuff about firewalking. So we're going to go back real quick and do that, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about what Geek Collective has going on, because I'm glad that I have a host, and that's what we're going to do. So let's go back to Band of Bards right here. All right.
You're listening to the Band of Bards podcast, a podcast where we talk to our own creators about their comic books. Stay tuned.
Joey, did you make that music?
No, that's a licensed music.
Right.
No,
okay.
That'd be a fantastic. Listen, I did dabble in making music, but no, I'm not that great.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I do make music, but I don't think I can make a fun jingle.
I did record that though. That I did not pay a voice actor to have that voice.
Oh no, that's you 100%. What mic are you using right now?
I am using my Electric Voice RE20.
I almost bought one of those. I bought an SM7B. I think I'll buy one of those. And I have not. I was talking about it the other day on one of the lives that I was doing from just my Instagram, and the Shure that I have, SM7B, I haven't opened it. I've had it for like 2 months.
Oh
I'm
wow.
still just using my Neumann, but I love how yours looks, and so that's the only reason why I bought the SM7B was so I could put it like here and it looked cool, right? But yours looks really, really cool, and that's the same mic, if I'm not mistaken, that they have on Frasier's set during the Frasier show, even though he's probably not really using it. But anyway, all right, so let's go. Let's listen to some firewalking. I don't know.
Yeah, this is what they call the like in the 70s, 80s. This was the standard microphone that they used.
Yeah, 100%. It's one of the best microphones.
Yeah,
because when you bought that, weren't you thinking about getting a Shure?
Yeah, I was. But then I decided to do this. I decided on this one because it gave me listen, I do a lot of research when it comes to audio equipment, and I did my research a lot on this one, and with my voice, this one was a little bit easier on my voice, where the Shures are a little bit deeper, that kind of a little bit muddled, a little bit kind of feels like you're got some kind of conditioning, right? This I was able to condition it with myself. It's more standard, and I was able to condition it on board here with me here, rather than let the mic do the work.
No, absolutely. No, it's a great. Am I muted? Nope. It's a great microphone. All right, so let's hear some firewalking from Brother Saphir and the guy that he's talking about. Firewalking.
You walk 40 times in one night. It's 40 new times.
It's different, man. Each time I walk, it's different. Every time I look down at those hot burning coals, man, the last time do not help.
Exactly. And you can burn on the last time as much as on the first time. I've walked thousands of times, and I like to say that I've walked thousands of first times.
Yeah,
I've walked literally hundreds of times in one night. It's been hundreds of first times in one night.
Yeah,
so there's no pressure on anyone to walk.
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. The event, the walking per se, is totally voluntary. And what happens is that before the actual moment to walk comes, there's a number of exercises that we do, and there is a strategy that you work with. It's a 4-point strategy that if you apply it correctly, it enables you to walk safely on fire. So imagine that if you have a strategy that allows you to focus your mind in such a way that you can walk on 1200 degrees and not burn, then what can't you do with it? You see what I mean? What we're saying to people is you can change any experience of reality.
All right, Joey, you're gonna do firewalking with me?
Listen, I do firewalking in my business every single day.
We walk on fire all the freaking time.
Well, but like what he's saying there, I love what he's saying there, right? You can apply the physical, putting those 4 processes together, for those 4 standards together that he's talking about, and putting it into your every single day life. If you could walk on 1200 degrees of fire, by using these standards and overcoming your mind, what can you not do in your everyday life or in your business life? Right.
It's like taking ice baths, because I do ice baths. I don't know if you've ever done an ice bath.
Oh, no.
Ice baths are some of my favorite things in the world. However, like with in fact, your wife might be interested in this too. Like with Indian mysticism or like yoga, they have like doshas, and so the dosha that I am doesn't do really as good as it could with like coldness, and heat is better for what my dosha is. And so it's interesting to me because I was trying to find things that are similar to say ice baths, where you're going through this extreme situation, but you're staying calm in it, and it allows you to like manage the outside, what's going on in the outside realm. And I think with this fire walking piece of it, that might be like the other side of that, like being able to walk on that fire, on that heat, and then being able to manage, being able to manage other things that happen in life. That's really interesting. So everybody, if you listen to podcasts, which I hope you do, if you're listening, we have 24 viewers right now. Go like and subscribe to Homeostasis wherever you get your podcast. And what we're going to do is I'm going to take a 2-second break. We're going to play another clip. We'll play a little bit of a video just so I can go grab some water. And then we're going to talk a little bit to Joey about what he's got going on for Geek Collective and some of the cool Kickstarters that they have on. So everybody hold tight, and me and Joey will be right back.
Visit Awake.
overall wellness.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's it. So, no matter what it is. So, yeah, I definitely want to hear more about that. Let's go to our kitchen corner segment with Danielle.
Hello and welcome to the Kitchen Corner. I'm your host, Danielle Del Castillo, and I'm here to share some wisdom about building health starting in the kitchen. If you're looking for a way to get more veggies into your meal this fall, this delicious warm Brussels sprout slaw is an absolutely delicious way to do that. The thing about Brussels sprouts is they have to be done right to highlight their deliciousness. Brussels sprouts are high in fiber, antioxidants, vitamin C, and vitamin K. They also help reduce inflammation in our bodies, regulate blood sugar, and help our bodies detoxify. For this recipe, you will need pecans, Brussels sprouts, coconut oil, 2 medium shallots, and for the sauce, you will need Dijon mustard, apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, and maple syrup. The mix of sweet and tangy makes all the difference. So first, roast half a cup of pecans in a 350-degree oven for 10 to 15 minutes. Next, finely chop your 1.5 pounds of Brussels sprouts and shallots, and make your sauce by combining 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, and 1 tablespoon of maple syrup in a bowl. Next, heat a large cast iron or metal skillet to medium heat and add 1 tablespoon of avocado or coconut oil. Add your Brussels sprouts and chopped shallots and saute for 3 to 4 minutes, and then add the sauce and pecans and cook for 3 to 4 more minutes, stirring occasionally. Serve warm or reheat within the next 2 days. I hope you enjoy this delicious warm Brussels sprout slaw, and I look forward to sharing more recipes with you next week on the Kitchen Corner.
So tell me, where did we leave off before? We were talking about,
we were talking about something with intimacy. We had someone interject.
we did.
And I have a question related to that.
So dopamine, break down the dopamine again, and oxytocin, and that good feeling stuff, and how else we can get more of that.
There's 2 people, right?
We had somebody ask, but yes, you have a good, you have 2.5 times more dopamine release after you are experiencing intimacy with someone. So
Really?
yes,
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What about hugs? I like that.
Hugs, yeah, hugs are a good way.
Hugs is oxytocin, right?
Yeah,
Or all of it.
hugs are strong oxytocin because it's that relational piece.
Mm,
Yes,
okay.
yes. So
Yes, Stephanie, do you have any more questions for us?
Yes, kind of related to that, but kind of back on the other
Okay.
side of our topic. But so there's a
All right, we are back. I hope Joey was ready. I was gonna private chat him, but then I was just like, yeah, we'll just go back and see what happens. Yeah, I wasn't liquidly prepared for what was gonna happen, and I didn't know if you were gonna come in. And I'm excited. I got this world's best multi-poo mom cup, so I'm really excited.
That's awesome. Oh man, that's hilarious.
All right, so tell me about Geek Collective. What do we have going on for the Geek Collective? If people don't know, Geek Collective is owned by Joey Galvez in partnership with Age of Radio. So tell me a little bit about Geek Collective and what we have going on.
So Geek Collective is, we started out as a podcast network, right? And we grew, and now we're becoming this kind of comic book creator studio. And we pay working pros to do all kinds of really cool stuff, from anything from trailers to interiors covers and everything in between. We also help creators market their books through Kickstarter and make some money that way. I am also a comic book designer and graphic designer as well. We are also publishing our own magazine, so we do that as well. But mostly what we do is we offer services to comic book creators who need like different graphic design work and all these different fun things that we do. We also offer advertising and public relations and all that good stuff. Right now, we have one live Kickstarter, which is I sent you that first link up top. It's called Zeta Galaxy Outlaws, and this one is live right now. This one's gorgeous.
Nice.
It follows a person who is who's a part of this conglomerate core, right? It's kind of like this. It's like a space western in the future, and they are sent this person out to go find a outlaw, and they're along the way. Tex is her name, Tex Wyatt, and she along the way she has to figure out, is she on the right side of the law here. So we're gonna figure out what's going on with that, and it's really, really gorgeous interiors, great covers by our friend Kenneth Laster. I worked with him a while back on a book called Try Not to Die, and I helped them lay out some of the books, and we're going to be I'm actually part of the team on this one as well, doing book layout and design as well. So it's really, really gorgeous. It's live right now. You guys can go over there and check out all the really cool rewards. They have early birds right now. They end in a couple of days, so make sure you guys are doing that and checking that out, because they got some really great deals.
All right, absolutely. And I realized where the links were at finally in the private chat. So this is Galaxy Outlaws #1. So it looks like we got a goal of $2,500. We're at $533 to kick this bad boy off. When did it start?
It just launched today, and
Today, okay, that's what I thought that you had said. But then I was also trying to get
this already.
when
That's
you were
really
talking
good.
about it. So I was like, I'll just double check. So this one started today. It looks like we're going for $2,500 goal. Let's knock that out of the park. Yeah. $533 is where we're at. Kickstarter is one of my favorite things. So Joey, how did you get into doing getting into Kickstarter? Like, were you buying stuff before you started putting all this stuff together? Because you put all of this stuff together, right?
Yeah, I did most of the graphics on here. So most of the graphics you see here was built by myself. The artwork was done by the artists and things of that nature. I just kind of put it together here. But yeah, so what we do is we build these pages out for them, and the way we got involved was I was buying Kickstarters before, right? And I was buying them like almost close to 8 to 10 years ago. I couldn't even tell you how long I've been doing purchasing Kickstarters. And then I started getting into this because I started wanting to kind of dabble in doing layout and design for comic books. And my friend said, well, you might be able to get, some practice in building, Kickstarter websites and stuff for people. And so I kind of did that, and people started paying me, and then they continued to ask for me to do it again and again and again. So I just said, okay, well, my wife has said, you're doing something. You should probably just put like a price sheet, so that if people are going to continue asking you, you can just give them the price sheet. And I did. And ever since then, we continue to add new services. We continue to be able to pay more people because we're getting all this work. Now we have a dedicated cartoonist who's on the roster with us. His name is Benjamin W. Morse, and he helps us out with all these things. He helps out with some of the graphics and design and the trailer work and things of that nature. And it's been a blast, man.
That's really cool. So if people aren't familiar with how Kickstarters work, so essentially, and I'm going to say some of this wrong because the only things I've ever pledged in Kickstarter was to you, and then I feel like I did a game for something once, and I don't think it ever met the thing, so I never got the game. So essentially, you pledge, you pick one of these available rewards based off of your pledge, right? So if I pledge $5 to this right now for anybody that's watching, I can get a digital PDF, and then I get the comic sent to me when it comes out.
Yeah, so when the campaign ends, this is an all or nothing campaign, right? Which means if they reach that goal of, what was it, 25 that we put up there, if we reach the goal, then everybody gets all the rewards that they were promised, that they pledged to. If it does not reach that goal, then nobody's cards will be money will not be taken, and you will not be able to receive these rewards. So it's all or nothing. So your pledge counts. So if you pledge to this and it reaches its goal, you're going to get the rewards. So what's fun about this is we put together a really cool looking campaign. We got all kinds of really fun stuff that we're planning for you. Some mystery goals, mystery stretch goals, mystery backer goals. There's some trading cards that are being made for you guys specifically for this. So it's really gorgeous. We got the cover A by Kenneth Laster, the writer, the artist. And we have cover B by Buttercup, and we have cover C by my good friend Marcus Jimenez. So totally, you guys should check these out. And right now, you guys can be among the first ones to have all 3 issues for the early bird price of $20. You can't even get all 3 of these at a regular price for $20. So you can get all 3 for $20 right now. There's that tier there. Be quick on the draw and get you some early bird tiers right there.
Nice. How many? So if I go up here though, hold on, maybe it's up here. Where was that at? So right now we have 40 backers and we have 30 days to go, so that we should be able to blow this. We're going to blow this one out of the park. Yeah. So anybody that's watching this, if you're interested in this bad boy, this one's live right now. $20. You can get all 3 of them, right?
$20, you can get all 3 of them. This is a 24-page comic, and I'm telling you, this is going to be the next hit series. It's gorgeous looking. If you look inside the interiors, beautiful work by our friend Kenneth Laster.
That's so cool. All right, what are some of the other ones that we have going on, or what's about to come out? What's the next one?
So we got one that, from Danger Squad. If you guys are all ages fans and YA fans,
all Asian fans or all Asian?
All ages, like age of radio, all ages. That's a different podcast, man.
Right.
So we got Danger Squad. This one follows a handful of teenagers, like middle school kids, who live in a weird, creepy town, and they have to figure out what's going bump in the night, right? Basically, so these kids get together and they solve mysteries that are happening in their neighborhood. Think, let's say. Let's think maybe Scooby-Doo meets Stranger Things.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Stranger Things meets some other kid thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo meets Stranger Things. So it's good. Listen, you're gonna read this one and you're not gonna think that you're reading an all ages book. It's that good.
Nice. Have you been able to read it all?
Yeah, I get to see a little bit of the stuff backstage, right, while I'm building these things. So yes, I have to read it as I go when I have to build these things. But yeah, it's really good. You guys are gonna like that. The artwork is gorgeous.
Yes. So
really
why
good.
does it? So tell me, for the people that are watching here that are maybe really into podcasting, but they're maybe dabbling in comics, or they've never done a Kickstarter before. So why does this one say notify me on launch? But so why is this different from the other one?
So this is what you call this is right here. This one's sitting in the pre-launch phase. The other one was live. This is the pre-launch. So it means you get to hit you what you do is you fill out your page and you get to a certain point, and then you ask Kickstarter to give you a link so that you can do some pre-launch promotions, right? So we get as many people as we can to sign up. It doesn't cost you anything. It's completely free to sign up, and all you do is hit notify me on launch. And when it launches, it'll send you an email. It'll send you to your Kickstarter and say, hey, Danger Squad is live. You can go ahead and go check out some of these really cool rewards. And now you can look inside the page like we just looked at with Zeta. So now that once it's live, then you get to go look through it. Then you get to pick your choice of rewards, right? So right now, this is in pre-launch. We like to get as many people to sign up as possible because sometimes that conversion rate is a little hard to get from people from signing up to actually purchase. So the more people that purchase, the more opportunity it means for this thing to actually be successful.
Nice. And Danger Squad, that's by Kinetic Comics. They've done other comic books? Is there anything that other people might have know from them, or other ones that you're aware of from them?
Yes, so we got Shade from Kinetic Comics, and this one's actually in pre-launch as well. And they got issue 2 coming out. You can also get issue 1. But this one is in pre-launch, and it should be that last one there that I sent you in the private chat.
Pulling it right here.
So it's this one's really cool because this one
because it's another one.
There's another one. That was my fault. I sent the wrong link.
I see. It's missing the S on the end. Is all that I think was happening.
So
So 404 is coming out. All right, here we go. All right,
So
we got Kinetic Comics, Shade, the Shadow Saga.
So Kinetic Comics is presenting Danger Squad, but this is their flagship book here. This is Shade number 1 and number 2. They're launching number 2, but you can still get issue 1 if you want to catch up and find out what's going on. This one, if people are out there actually comic book fans, this one reminds me of a lot of like that old school Valiant kind of stuff. So if you're into that stuff, check this one out. This one follows Shade, who's a supernatural spy and is faced with uncanny threats, betrayal, who must overcome his arrogance to become a true hero. So you guys want to check this one out. Very cool stuff. There's lots of threats. I just finished the trailer. We're about to push it out and show all you guys some really cool stuff that are behind the scenes with this. So make sure you guys are checking this out. Follow us on Kickstarter. Follow this one on Kickstarter and get notified when this one goes live.
So are you allowed to say when they launch?
We're hoping to launch within the next couple of months.
Got it. Okay. So we're trying to get people into there. So go and notify yourself for the launch. Be a part of the Kickstarter community. The crowdfunding community is really, really good and really, really exciting, and something that I'm super excited about to get more involved about, whether it's with Age of Radio, whether it's with Geek Collective, whether it's with 3T Warrior Academy and the investments that we do with any of the universe that we're creating around us from all of these businesses and these ecosystems. So I'm really excited for what we're doing with Kickstarter and all the cool stuff that Joey has been specifically doing around Kickstarter. And I'm really excited to see where the future goes, because we had a great panel at Phoenix Fan Fusion. Me and Joey went to that, and we were able to sit down with Coffin Comics. Is Brian Padillo? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Brian Pulido, yeah.
Pulido. I said the last name wrong. So Brian, if you'll hear this in the future, I'm sorry. I've met you twice, and I still don't know how to say your name. So Coffin Comics, we met with Brian Pulido, and he had a panel there, and just him talking about how the success that he has had on Kickstarter was really, really exciting. And what was really cool, I thought, Joey, I know that we did a live right after that on Instagram, but what I thought was really, really cool about that was that a lot of the stuff that he says that they do, you're specifically doing, like almost to a T for the most part. So I'm really excited to hear that. So how did you how did you learn how to do the stuff with the Kickstarter? Just from being a part of Kickstarters, or how did that work?
So I think I feel like I constituted to being a Kickstarter backer first, right? Because I know what I want to see on it from a Kickstarter. I know what I want to get from it. I know where I can, where my sweet spot is, right? My sweet spot to pay for a Kickstarter is probably anywhere from $35 to $50, right? So if I'm just a regular guy, I can spend about $50 without my wife, really saying, "Hey, man, where'd all this go?" Right? Number one, I'd probably have to tell her where it all went, but but if I got $50 to spend on myself, right? That's what I got. So if I'm saying, okay, well, if I'm the average person, then the average person has about $35 to $55 to spend on a Kickstarter. So one of the things you got to do is you got to, the best thing in sales, right? And you and I have probably had so many different sales jobs, and probably that probably helps me out a lot, right?
Yeah.
Knowing a little bit of sales and knowing how to price different products when you are in sales. I've been in sales since I was probably 16, 17, right? So I figure what I want, what's a good place for this. You got to figure out the market. You got to watch the market. You got to watch what they're doing, watch the market trends, because they're always changing. Nothing is ever the same when it comes to sales. It's nuts. It's one of the most things that's always like this. But you always got to be watching it, and you just kind of strategically strike when you can. And it's a little wild sometimes. But you kind of just watch trends, and you kind of set these things at different things. And I think that's what kind of we got out of that panel is that you always you got to do your research. You never relent, and you always show the best thing forward, right? And your best, you always put your best foot forward is what I'm trying to say, which means you put your best product out there and you showcase that thing, and you let people know how much they want it.
Yeah.
And one of the big things that I think I got from that is optics are everything, right?
Yeah.
there's always negative things that happen, there's always problems that arise, right? But there's always another way to look at it and another way to frame it and talk about it, rather than focus on the negativity of a certain thing. And I think that's one of the big things that I got from the panel, if I was going to take something away.
Yeah, no, I think that that's one of the main things that I got from it too. But I also think that it's really exciting to see that, like, one of the things is finding people that are successful and then kind of doing the same activities that they have. And I think for us and you being able to do that, I think is going to be great for any of the people that are wanting to work with Geek Collective and do these types of things in the future. As it relates to, like, I don't know if I'm making this up in my head, so I want you to tell me. Does the independent comic creator scene seem to have better artists, or like, I don't know, because like I'm looking at Danger Squad and I'm looking at Shade and and the first one we did, the Zeta Galaxy, just the artwork on those are fantastic, and those are all independent comic creators that are doing their own, like, trying to get their stuff out there, utilizing these Kickstarters and not going through like a big corporate publishing house or whatever the case is. And so I'm just curious on why do you think that there's not this type of artwork, and maybe there is, and I'm just, I don't know, not really as much into comics as you are, or not buying as many as I need to be buying. But why do you think that piece is? And then two, why do you think that the indie comic scene, do you think that the indie comic scene is just going to get it, because it's been growing a lot over the last like 15, 20 years. And where do you see the independent comic creator scene going here in the future?
So I think you're kind of hitting the nail on the head there a little bit, right? Some of these indie artists, right, that don't go through these big huge publishing houses first, right? Like the big two, like Marvel, DC, Image, all those ones that are out there, that, right? I think they have some really great guys, right? But it's really hard to break into that kind of industry because you have to be seen, and it's all crazy, right? And once you're in, you're in. But I think these guys here have a lot of passion for what they're doing. A lot of these projects are passion projects that they've been working on for years and years and years, and they want it to look really gorgeous, and they want it to look like the best thing that they've ever put out there. And a lot of it is, and I think that's the reason why we see something like that, because their passion is coming out onto the pages, which is amazing. And I think because of that, I see the future of indie comics going to the point to where it's creator owned and self-published, and finding different avenues to publish your works. And I don't think it's no longer just, the big two or the direct market to get your work out there anymore. Now we have Kickstarter. Now we have all these other platforms like Indiegogo and all these other places that are just like Kickstarter. And there's new ones popping up every single day. And there's also now digital resources where you can sell your digital comics as well, which is another avenue for revenue for these creators, right? Because it doesn't really take too much to lay out a book and then sell it as a digital, right? But you're getting a little bit of a cost, because it's not paying for an actual physical media, which costs a little bit more. Now that but you have all these different avenues and all these different places that you can market your book now that you didn't have maybe 10 years ago or 15 years
right
ago.
Yeah, because now we can use social media, we can use live, we can collect our own email list. That was one of the things that I thought that Brian Polito said really, really good. It's like, always get emails. Like, when you can do the emails, you can reach out to them, you can produce content. Because even if like all this stuff goes away and we were still able to record our own content, we could still push that content out through email.
Well, look at it this way, right? Because of all this, like the crazy thing that the controversy behind X and Twitter, right? That whole crazy thing that happened, and everybody there was going to be this mass migration away from Twitter, and right, and which happened for a little bit, but then people figured out, well, those other ones aren't quite there yet because these guys know what they got it, they got it, right? Yeah. Same thing that happens with Kickstarter. There was a mass migration. There was supposed to be a mass migration away from Kickstarter, but it didn't happen because Kickstarter got it right. So here's the thing, right? When you see things like that, you just kind of make sure that you stay along the lines as well, right? But the thing is, you don't focus on the negative. You always focus on the positive, and you stick to your guns, and you stick to your marketing plan, and you use these things part of your strategy. Now, if Twitter were to leave tomorrow, right, then a lot of these people that rely on Twitter or X to forward their business, they're all going to lose out tomorrow. But now if you gathered all those emails from all your followers somehow, then you can still communicate, then you can still sell them, and then you can upsell them. Listen, I still get emails daily. Like literally, there's a time of day where every business out there emails you, right? And you're like,
no, like an optimization time, and then they're just move right into that one.
But it's true because the industry, there's a standard of the industry has been doing it for so long. They know exactly when it is time to send out to people because they know the actual date and time to a science when people actually read those emails.
Yeah. So, well, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We're gonna have to call it a day, so I'm gonna give it to you one more time, Joey, to say any last thoughts, and then I'll say some last thoughts, and we'll close this bad boy out. So, Joey, the floor is yours. Tell people where they can find you. Tell them anything last thing that you want them to know.
Well, you all, if we're talking about Kickstarter, so find us on Kickstarter. All you got to do is find Geek Collective on Kickstarter, and then find me, Joey Galvez, because I'll do some Kickstarters of my own, and then Geek Collective will do some Kickstarters of their own. So make sure you're following us there, because that's going to be the best place to find that stuff. And the best place to follow us on social media is probably X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. That's where we're most popular. That's where we do most of our social media work there. So you follow us there, Joey Galvez 1984, and _ Geek Collective, or _ Geek Collective, and that's how you guys can find us. And then make sure you guys are listening to Band of Bards podcast. Drops every single Tuesday at your favorite podcast player.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you so much, Joey. And for everybody, from Age of Radio, make sure that you go over to the Age of Radio Instagram. I'm going to be going live tomorrow with Kim Basser from One Evolving Podcast. And if you're a part of our podcast network, the Age of Radio Podcast Network, reach out to me on our Facebook group. If you want to start going on those lives, I'm going to be doing them once a week. It'll either be updates if no one's able to join me, or we'll talk about your guys' podcast to grow that exposure. If you're interested in joining Age of Radio, please reach out to me on social media at Age of Jeremy, or on any of our Age of Radio platforms. The best one would probably be Instagram at Age of Radioverse, or Twitter at Age of Radio, or X at Age of Radio. I'm still not used to saying X.
I know.
The other thing too is if you want to be a part of our community, make sure that you join the Addicted to Podcasting Facebook group. Just go over to Facebook, type in Addicted to Podcasting, 746 members. If you want to come in there and talk about the content you're creating, that's great, but also join in the community. And also make sure that you join our Discord. Reach out to us on social media to get the link to join the Discord. And we will be doing our anime roundtable on June 9th with Creator Trey, who is our community manager in the Discord. We'll be talking about everything anime, but that will only be in the Discord for the Discord. So make sure that you sign up for that, because I'm going to talk a lot about Spy Family, because I had a great time watching Spy Family, and that dodgeball scene, for the love of God, is freaking hilarious. So with that being said, I always say be thankful, grateful, and kind. And thank you so much for shaping the universe with Age of Radio, and we'll talk with you soon. Bye.